All right, we're here with Chef Wylie Dufresne from WD50. Thank you for joining us at Devour yet again.
Certainly,
we much appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
And it was not easy to get Chef Dufresne to come in and speak with us today, not because he doesn't like us, well, I don't know, but because he's actually been one of the chefs who's been participating in all of the seminars here, or a vast majority of them, right?
Yeah, no, I've been.
You're like, don't talk to me, I'm going to go and do these seminars.
No disrespect meant to anybody, but yeah, I mean, it's fun to come here and do your demo and present, but it's also fun to come and see what other people are doing. So I feel like more of an obligation to do that than
always learning.
Yeah, I mean, I filled the notepad full of stuff today, and yesterday and tomorrow. So good times.
How was the pig presentation?
It was very cool, very cool. I mean, as to be expected, Juan is always good for a strong presentation, and he brought one of the premier pigologists from Spain, and they did some really cool suckling pig stuff. Did you get to see it at the end?
I saw bits and pieces, but I saw some sous vide stuff also. But no, we've been running back and forth. We're working the whole time.
They do a great thing at the end where to prove that the pig is so properly cooked, they portion it with plates. They take two glass plates and they they don't hack at it, but they portion up the chicken.
They slice the pig with plates.
With plates, it's very cool, very cool.
They could use just their fingers, right?
Well, I mean,
tender.
Yeah, it was nice. No glass broke. No.
But no glass broke like when we met almost, but you caught the glass.
Exactly.
Well, listen, the theme of this whole thing has been, or is still, because we have another day to go, the role of the chef, the responsibility of the chef. And we've had some conversations about the responsibility of the chef as mentor, Danielle Ballou, Rick Moonen talking about the responsibility of the chef in sort of self-editing on the menu with regards to species of fish that are that are being overfished. You work very closely with your whole team in the kitchen. I think it's one of the more sort of democratic feels in a kitchen that I've experienced. Do you want to talk a little bit about your sense of responsibility to your staff?
Sure. I think at the end of the day, for me, I think I feel a responsibility just to make them think, and that can encompass a very sort of broad stretch of possibilities. But I just really want them to think. I just want them, whether it be to think about what they're doing immediately in terms of serving a table, or think about it on a much sort of larger picture. How can we? What are some ways we can improve the service here? What are some ways that we can tweak this dish? Or are we doing this the best we can? Are we? I really, at the end of the day, that's all I hope of anything. When anybody comes to work at WD50 and they leave, someone says, "What is it like working there?" It's like, it really made me think. And again, that's what would make me the happiest, would be if people would react in that sort of a way. It made me think, whether it was about food or about an approach or about methodologies, ways about going about things. Also, I just really would like to help them sort of think about what they're doing, and not just sort of not that they're robots, but to really every now and then periodically take a moment, back out, look at it, re-examine it, in the hopes of moving forward.
And I would think that in your kitchen, as opposed to maybe more classicist type kitchens where there are dishes, these are the ingredients, these are the rules, this is the way it's done, you're so much more experimental, and I know that you tap into the knowledge of the people that work with you to come up with new and innovative stuff.
Yeah, totally. And the traditional sort of old school European system does not encourage thinking. It's about, well, why should we do it this way? Because I said so, or because it's been done that way forever and that's the way we're going to do it. And, there's a lot to be said for the discipline and the rigor and all of that comes out of the classic kitchen, but at some point we want to go a little bit beyond that, hopefully, and part of that is thinking about it and thinking about how we can improve it. And I'm open to the idea that the coat check girl and the dishwasher could come up with as many good ideas as me, and so I want to hear everybody's input on the process.
Have you ever had the coat check girl say, Chef Dufresne, I think that this should be?
Well, I mean, within, within the context of what he or she may do, certainly, if there's a better way for us to do this, or, we might need more hangers because it's going to be raining this weekend, or, even that shows that the process is working, that they're not just showing up for work and, I just hung up the last coat, we don't have any more hangers, and it's pouring out. But like, instead, I saw the weather this morning, just wanted to give you a heads up, we might need some, we're going to have a cold spell coming, and it would be good idea if you could take all your crap out of the coat check area, chef, and we could hang some coats. So I mean that's again it can be as minuscule or grandiose as long as it's part of this continuing sort of social experiment that is WD-50, and that involves a lot of people, and I need the help of all those people. But
and your dad works there too, right?
He does quite a bit. He's deep in. Yeah,
that's awesome. In this, and you were here yesterday. You've been here all day today. Back tomorrow. So you're doing the full shebang. So far, there's been some great presentations. Has anything surprised you in the course of the last 2 days? Has there been any single thing where it was like an aha moment? Oh, you know what? I hadn't thought of that, or just something that impressed you.
I would say that my presentation was
your presentation was
the most impressive. Yeah. No, by no stretch. Morimoto sounded pretty cool. I unfortunately was doing my demo right after him, so I only got to sort of catch bits and pieces. But that
he did the head to tail.
Yeah, and he hung the monkfish up and butchered it upright like that, which was pretty nifty. Heston Blumenthal's demo, the opening sort of ceremony thing was pretty awesome.
Did you eat baby?
That was pretty awesome. I did.
You ate baby.
It was disturbing. It was like a communion wafer that,
It was a communion wafer that tasted like baby.
It was like all the things that I'm not supposed to do in one mouthful.
I was really, really tempted to ask him if he felt that it was responsible to serve baby in the first demonstration. But the guy had a
broken hand.
He had a broken hand from his cricket accident. I figured he's got pins in that hand, and if he whacks me with it, it's not.
You'd be crying like a baby.
Good, yeah.
His thing was pretty well done. I mean, he did a great job, obviously putting it together. It doesn't hurt having the production team of the BDC. It's a lot like this kind of rig.
Here. We're very
similar.
They call us up all the time to ask us for ideas. Yeah.
You like the coat check girls of the BBC.
We'll take them from anybody. Yeah, man. So I want to talk about Heston Blumenthal for just a moment, because for some obvious, there are going to be obvious parallels that people are going to draw. But anything that he was doing where you thought, wow, that is just wacky, weird, and fun? He described himself as a big kid.
Yeah, well, he is, and he's a curious kid too, which I like, and I think that's probably sort of at the root of maybe our similarities. I mean, he's longer at the game than myself, and farther down the road, and certainly more established, and got a bigger infrastructure for the whole big kid thing. But
his kitchen looks like NASA.
But and rightfully so, and he's doing some really neat stuff, and I it's always a pleasure to watch what he does, and just to be able to say that I know the guy, and I've got his email.
I'm sure he shouts out to you also.
Again, it's he canceled his dinner reservation tonight, so maybe not.
Really? Maybe he broke his other hand or something.
I hope not. Jesus.
A little transatlantic, and I want to get into, just for a brief moment, the whole topic of the sort of cuisine that you do. Is there are you guys talking to each other, emailing each other, or messaging each other on ideas, comparing notes on some of the new stuff that you're working on? Is there a community in that sense?
There's community in the sense that we help each other when we can. I mean, not so specifically, hey, I'm working on this, what do you think, or anything like that. But if I've got some questions about something, or vice versa, or if he's traveling this way or I'm heading that way, maybe we can help each other out. We were fortunate enough to go spend. He just built that new lab, sort of extension to his kitchen, and we were fortunate enough to be invited out there to spend a week with him, and that was a big honor, and we were excited about that. And then, like him coming to dinner tonight would be a fun thing, and get to sort of return the favor. But yeah, I mean, I actually have a few questions. I'm going to fire an email off to him this week about some stuff that he did, and just get his take on things, because he's sort of, certainly, I don't want to say elder in an elderly sense, but an elder statesman insofar he's been at it
Right.
at it longer than most, and brings some good perspective to the table.
I thought that his whole take on the multisensorial aspects of dining and what it means and how you can influence the experience through sound. What do you think of the iPod in the shell?
Well, I've had that. I've had that a couple of times. I mean, I don't have, he backs it all up with scientific data saying that people found it, properly seasoned, and the noise and blah, blah, blah. So I suppose you can't knock it. I mean, I think, you have to certainly make sure you bring a sense of humor to the table.
Right.
That other one that looked like sort of a fireplace with the
Pop
snap,
rocks.
crackle, and pop. That I've never had. That looked pretty intriguing.
Yeah. Anyone who incorporates Pop Rocks into a $300 meal, I mean, they've got to have a sense of humor.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's really doing it, tastefully. There's no gimmicks. It's not hokey. It's
Right.
all still very, very high end, very fine dining.
Yeah.
Very much fine dining, and he's definitely the man, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, he's the man over there. I think in general people think you're pretty much the man over here. But
not really, but
I don't want to embarrass Wylie. Last question, because I know you've got to go feed a lot of people. We do a little segment on Devour called Chef Stories, and I just related one that Danielle Ballou shared with us. I'm just wondering, and I think we mentioned it when we visited you that one time. Did you have a chance to think about maybe?
I haven't really I'm still racking my brain for a juicy one for you, I would like to give you a good one.
Okay,
so can I get a hall pass? A hall pass for
Are you kidding? Totally.
For now, so that I can come up with something good?
Absolutely. You have 24 hours.
Awesome. Well, you guys will be here tomorrow in the command
Actually,
center?
we're not going to be able to be here tomorrow, but whenever you say the word, we'll be happy to join you.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Down.
There's got to be something up here somewhere that I can.
I'm sure, man.
That I can access.
Playing with all the fun toys that you play with and all the cool people that you work with.
Yeah, something had to go horribly wrong that I can recount to you.
Exactly. And by the way, for those of you who are familiar with the dish that we shot with Wylie, there's nothing wrong with me, and I really like that dish.
Excellent.
Chef Dufresne, always a pleasure. Thanks a lot for joining, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Well, indeed, we shall.